Hello, hello, hello. Hi, ladies. Welcome back, everyone, to another wonderful episode of Mom's Pearls. My name is Leah, and I have the privilege of being here today with my lovely sisters, Yolanda and Brenda. Hey, girls. So, we are all moms and we are all sisters in Christ. And we are so excited to be here today talking to you guys today from a biblical perspective about, well, let's see. So you walk into the coffee shop, your favorite coffee shop, you order, right? And the barista tells you your total and they swivel the screen around for you and it's your turn to complete. And guess what the screen is asking? Would you like to tip? All right, so today we family are talking about tipping. All right, so when to tip, if you've ever tipped, when not to tip, all that stuff and so much more. We're going to discuss right here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Mom's Pearls. Mom's Pearls. Mom's Pearls.
Hello, family. Hey. So we have this segment. What would Jesus say? And think about our news today. So today we have a news article and we're going to toss it over to Sister Brenda. She's going to share the news article with us today.
Hi, fam. How are you? So, ladies, we're going to talk about an incident that happened on the flight, I believe coming from Miami to JFK in New York City. It was a family on the flight. The mother had to take her 3-year-old son to the bathroom. The bathroom nearest to her was occupied. She said, well, little boy, of course, kids wait till the last minute when it's coming out to tell you they have to go. So she's taking them up front to go to that one, and the stewardess stops her like, you can't go here. She's like, my son really has to go. He's about to, go on himself. I need to get him in there. No, you can't. No, you can't. And then the stewardess walks away. So the mom's like, later for this, as all us mothers would do, she went in. Well, the flight attendant got pissed off and locked her and the little boy in there until they landed for like 45 minutes, y'all. That is such a violation. And when they came out, they had the police there talking about they was terrorist acts, and the flight attendant lied and said she did not lock them in there with the woman banging and everything.
That
Ladies,
is terrifying.
What do you think about that?
That is terrifying. First of all, I didn't even know that there were limitations to the bathroom. Like, if I had to go to the bathroom and this one is the closest one, because they have the two and then they have
first class.
But we were limited. I didn't know we couldn't go to first class. Yolanda, you're familiar with that?
Yes, anything in first class is off limits, other than when you get on the plane, you can walk through first class to get to your coach seats, and that's the last part last time you'll see first class until you're exiting the plane after they get off first, of course.
That is terrible. I had no idea about that. Okay, well, yeah, so I'm definitely not familiar with that. I'm sorry, I got to get my first class game up. But I agree with the mother. I totally understand where she was coming from. And I think that at the end of the day, that's one of the things, a lot of times when we talk about police and everything like that, we talk about like discretion, use your discretion. And I think just at the end of the day, it could have been handled a lot better. I think Jesus definitely would have been saddened by the lack of compassion, the lack of empathy. At the end of the day, regardless of person, I don't see anybody in first class being that heartless to where a child can't use my bathroom. I just don't, and I just think that whole situation was unfortunate. And I definitely think Jesus would have just been heartbroken just to see somebody just so staunch on the rules and rigid and just, you can't, just because I think, just some mercy and some grace, he would have preferred being seen there amongst each other as brothers and sisters,
Exactly. 100%. I agree with you, Leah. We can go out with the kids and there will be signs on the doors where they'll only allow paying customers to use the bathroom. But if it's one of the kids, they'll let a child use the bathroom. They'll take them. I've been in stores and they'll take one of the kids into the employee bathroom if that's all they have. And it's just that lack of compassion. Jesus would definitely want that lack of compassion. Matthew 7:12 said, 7. Yeah, I said it right. Well, so whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets, the good news is literally the golden rule of the Bible. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Just like you said, where's the compassion for a child? If you've ever had a child, you know, like you said, they don't have to go until it's coming down their leg.
It's too late. And the family is suing the airlines. I believe it's American. Don't quote me though. They're suing the airline. They squashed everything with law enforcement once they landed because the husband is a retired FBI agent. So they was like, okay. Well, you know, it must have been a big misunderstanding. That they threatened, they told that the mother made terrorist accusations. How is that connected to taking your child to the bathroom?
Where are all the witnesses that were sitting there? What did they witness?
I don't know. They didn't get into that. They're just saying the woman now doesn't want to get on the plane anymore because of this, you know, and they're suing. That has to be traumatic. I don't want to use it just to use the toilet. Furthermore, be locked in there. Your landing is unsafe. You're not in a seatbelt. It's just, this was a terrible decision all the way around.
I agree, family. And unfortunately, that's all we can discuss about that. But it's definitely something for us to cover in prayer. So if you like, what am I going to pray about today? Pray about everybody involved, the stewardess, the law enforcement, all the passengers on the plane, that family. Just keep them covered in prayer. All right, family. So we're going to talk about tipping today, which I am really excited to just get everybody's perspective and hear what they're going to say about this topic. Because, okay, anyway, I'm going to get started. So let's talk about, is there ever a time when you should not tip? Okay, so let's talk about that. From my perspective, I'll start real quick. It's just, I grew up and I was told you just tip based on the service. So if there's good service, you get a tip. Now, I will say, you know, a restaurant is where I will tip the most. I think when I was going in the Waffle House one time, they were like, oh, the tip is included even for your carryout. And I was like, well, we just won't get a lot of Waffle House. I'm not tipping myself. I'm not paying for what I'm going in to get and bringing back out. So that whole idea, carry out, I'm sorry. If I'm not tipping, I'm just gonna pay for what I'm getting and that's it. So yeah, food most of the time. Nail salon, I was taught that. Somebody took me for the first time, and so I saw them and how they did it and tipped everything as well. Yeah. So I was taught about that. The rest of it's kind of,
well,
I'm not tipping for picking up an order. I'm not tipping for something you didn't do extra. Like, you're getting paid your hourly to make whatever food, and then I'm getting out of my car, I'm parking, walking into the weather, whatever it is, and I'm coming into the counter to stand in line and pick up my food and go back to my car through the weather, whatever. But if you're bringing it to me, that's different. But I'm not tipping if I have to do all of that. So sorry, no tip for that.
Don't carry out and tip. Sorry, it's just not an option. What about you?
I'm definitely not doing it if I have to go pick it up. I'm definitely not. I'm not leaving you a tip. Even when some restaurants, like, you know, carry out, you go in and they will have, like you said,
the jars and everything.
No, not even the jars. It's part of the process of checking out with your card. And the first thing it says is tips. Very first thing before it even gets to the payment. No, I'm not tipping you extra. I mean, I'm already paying a late for it. I'm not tipping you extra because I'm here. It's not like I sat down and you served me. To me, then that's different. Now, if you deliver, I will tip you for a delivery because you have to, that's your gas, you know, all of that. You're coming to my home, you're delivering the food. Yes, I will give you a tip for that. If I receive bad service in a restaurant, I'm not tipping you. I'm not tipping you because I'm coming in here with a good heart, a smile on my face. I want to hope I make your day easier by serving me because you are giving me a service. And how are you today? I'm doing all of that. I expect that back too. You know, I expect you to have a smile on your face when you're serving me and not be grumpy and like, I don't want that because I'm not going to give that to you.
So does bad service, when we talk about restaurant and not tipping bad service, does that include like buffets? So you go to your, because you know how like you still have a server come and they give you your initial, let me refill your drink.
Oh, okay.
Are we tipping?
Yes, I will.
I do tip.
Depending,
based
because
on
sometimes
how many
I gotta
times they
flag you,
come.
right?
Yeah.
Flag down for drink. I gotta flag you down for a spoon. I gotta go up there. Let me just go on anyway and get, because we can't be sitting here for 2 hours waiting for you to come back around. Let's just go. You know what I'm saying? Or you got to ask the next person, the next server. Excuse me, can you?
That's
we
true.
don't know which salad.
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And at
Yeah, that
buffets, they typically clear your plates away. So if you just have all these dirty plates on the table and my cup is empty, I'm sorry, that tip. No.
So is it, let me just ask, because family, all of us are married, is it ever like up for debate? Like, is the spouse
Yes.
like, we should slide a $5 still, or, you know, like, how does that, because I know sometimes with us, it's like, why are we arguing about this? No, let's just, no.
Well, we don't usually have an argument.
Okay.
And it doesn't happen often at all that we get bad service.
Okay.
But I'd be like, my husband is basically, if not nothing else, he's going 15%.
Okay.
You know, that's just a rule with him, and they claim that's what you're supposed to pay. So he will do that. And if he really likes the person, he'll go up to 20 if we had really good service. I will usually, he'll be like this, and I usually agree with him because I don't think we ever really had where it shouldn't.
So you haven't had to take from his tips.
Yeah, I don't think I've had to do that. I have had to be like, manager, no, we're not paying this if they added on to the bill already.
Okay.
Because
Which they will do.
Yes, because the service was not good. So.
Okay.
Yes, we've had instances where it was both of us like, no, I'm not leaving them a tip. They don't deserve our tip. So no, we're having this conversation now. They're not getting it. They don't deserve it. And there's times where we're split. We're conflicted on if we're going to leave a tip, if we're not going to leave a tip, or how much tip we should leave. If I do the calculations and if I don't like, if the 15% is more than what I want them to have, I'm not leaving 15%. If they only did a $2 service, then that's all they're going to get. You take that and you apply that to what you think was good, because that wasn't it. $2 is what you deserved.
My husband will say, "Oh, they messing with their tip right now."
Right.
Yep. Okay. As soon as I get my ice and I can shake it and I look around,
yeah,
all right, that's your tip going down the drain. I'm sucking on ice. I'm thirsty now.
My whole table. And I try to take into consideration their job is hard. It's difficult. Yes. They just don't have your table. They have a multitude sometimes, especially now where you can't get anybody to come to work, want a job. So it's double on them. And if you see them like really moving and bouncing from table to table, I try to have some patience and give them some grace because I know they're trying. Mm-hmm. You know, if I see you're really trying, I see, you know, you're going in all kinds of directions, I will do that. I won't be, you know, heartless and be like, I want it now.
Yeah. Right, because we're supposed to have compassion. Yes, so that's good. And for delivery drivers as well, yes, I do tip the delivery drivers. Even though I've never ordered through Uber Eats, I tried once and it was just too many fees for me. It was a delivery fee, it was a gas fee, it was a service fee, it was a convenience fee, and then they asked me for a tip. I said, I'm going to get it myself. Thanks. No thanks.
Some of them change the prices if they don't have those fees on. I don't know if you know, but really? When you order those services like DoorDash or whatever to come to your door, if you order it and like pick it up or something yourself, it might be $9.99 for the item, but over there on their website, oops, sorry, I just spoiled it for the world. It's $15.95. Yeah, they'll change those prices on you. So you might want to pay attention. Also, this is just for carry out items, things that you can get yourself. I do a lot of online ordering, but you need to check and make sure that the tip is not already put on there. Because if you don't go down to that tip area and put 000, they will automatically have a set amount included in there, just generated on that computer. So just watch, family. I love y'all. I hope I didn't spoil it. Scandalous. That word. Those are just things to be conscious of.
This scandals. And
so what about? Go ahead.
Recently, there's a lot of those Uber Eats and DoorDash and all those drivers. If they don't see a tip on whatever they get when it comes to them, the job, if they don't see you put a tip, they are refusing to pick up people's food.
I've seen that. I've seen a lot of that on social media. They're like, you're not tip. If you can only tip $5, then you shouldn't be ordering food. If you can't afford a tip, you can't afford to order out. But I got something to share. So I went and got my hair done on Friday, and we are talking about tipping. So I called the lady and I set an appointment for 3:00. I get there at 3:05. I'm running in like, oh, I'm ready to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was a few minutes late. She wasn't there. She strolls in at like 3:35 as I was getting ready to go. I didn't get an apology. Should I have tipped her?
Absolutely not. That literally just happened to me. The girl was like I got there, I was like 15 minutes late. The girl had to be like 45 minutes late. She was like, girl, I had your number. She was like, I normally call my clients when they're running late. And I'll tell them, and they just meet me when I'm leaving. I'll tell them when I'm leaving my house, and they'll come meet me. Girl, what? Okay, family, real quick. We're gonna break. We're gonna break, and we are coming back to answer these questions. I promise you, real quick break.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for having me. Hello to all our beautiful viewers. So speaking of tip, my tip for today is to connect. Connect with your friends, connect with your loved ones. Okay, eat lunch with your coworkers or classmates. Spending time with people you care about can not only boost your immune system, but it can also boost your mental health. There you have it, guys. That is my tip for today. Thank you so much for having me.
Ooh, wow, let's talk about it. That's crazy. That's some 35. Ooh, okay. But did you like how she did your hair? That's a good question.
No, then she lightened my hair. I brought my own hair color. And I said, this is what I've been using. So like when I go to the doctor, they want to know whatever medicine you've been taking. I brought the piece of weave, the color that I wanted. I said, this is the color I like. And this is what I've been using on my hair to color, because they always ask, well, what have you been putting on your hair? So it was easier to just bring the bottom. And she's like, oh, okay, thanks for bringing it. I'm not going to use it. She ended up using it. And then at the end of the service, she put all that stuff to smooth your edges down that I hate.
Yeah.
And it made my hair feel gritty. I said, I don't like the little swoopy swoops in the front. And she's like, oh no, I'm just gonna smooth your hair down. I know it doesn't smooth my hair down. It just curls my hair back up. It don't lay it down. It curls it back up. And then it just made it feel gritty and like sand. And I got my hair done Friday. And yesterday I was ready to wash my hair because it just doesn't feel good. And so I'm like, I did tip her. I did, because I have a lot of hair. I did because it was very it had a lot of effort to go into it, but I won't go back. It was my first time going there, and I won't go back.
But you didn't tip her as much as you would have had she been on time and cooperated better with you?
Oh no, I was fully planning to give her at least a $25 tip for doing my hair.
Okay, so she got less. Okay.
Oh,
so
she got less.
Say this. So when we do tip and we receive service that isn't how we like it, do we let them know? Do we say, hey, I would have gotten you more? Because I have seen that before when people have written on receipts from the that they got like from the server or whatever, saying if your attitude was better, you would have gotten more, or if this was, you
No,
had
I don't
do
that.
we say anything? Do we let them know?
No, but I definitely should have said something. Now I definitely should have said, I didn't appreciate waiting 45 minutes for you, and you was using this teeny tooth comb pulling my hair, you used my product, and it was
doing what I don't ask. Let me just say this. One time when I had got my hair done, it was not the way I wanted. And I went back and I reached out to the girl, and I was supposed to get my money back. She was trying to get back to me, whatever. But the stylist, she did say to me, don't leave your chair and your hair is not the way you want it. Don't ever. She was like, don't ever do that. Don't, if you didn't like your service, if you didn't whatever, you need to handle that right while you're in the chair. So I think that coming from a service, from the stylists themselves, I'm like, well, hey, next time I need to be vocal. I need to say, and next time you need to know this is why you didn't get your tip. This is why you didn't,
I want to share this scripture, fam. And it's 1 Peter 4:10, and it says, each of you should use whatever gifts you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. So we should, whatever our gifts are as a server, whether we're doing the nails, we're doing whatever, you should do it unto God. Amen. And with a good heart, that you do a good job and that is pleasing to the person you're serving. So there's different criteria. Like some people, I did a survey. It said 75% of people state that they do tip when they go out to eat in a restaurant.
Okay.
5% say they never tip.
Never.
I was like, well, at least I'm glad it was only 5%. So you know, some people just don't care at all. I think
Wow.
we should tip depending on the quality of the service. Now I tip my nail lady every time I go because she does a great job and I'm truly always satisfied and I'm always getting compliments on my nails. Not only do I tip her all the time, I also give her a bonus at Christmas time because
Oh.
I am thankful with the service. I do that for her. I do it for the young lady that gives me my massages because it really helps controlling my back issues and what she does for me. So I also give her, I tip her even though it's her own business, but I still tip her because it's hard work on your hands.
But they're your regulars.
Right.
So
These
you
are
build
my regular.
relationships with them.
Yes, and they get that tip at Christmas time, extra bonus. But randomly, I'm gonna go by how I like you, how the service was. Not you personally, but how I like how you service me.
So do you guys have a standard going in? Like I know, $10 is the basic, and everybody starts from there. If you're good, I'll give you 15. If you're
For
less,
what?
I'll give you 5.
Oh, it depends on what it
you
is.
receive.
Oh,
I'm
it
starting
depends
at
on the
zero. It started at
it
zero
start
for
at
me.
zero, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then sometimes it's $3.
So you leave with 0
you,
sometimes.
you cut me, and it's an issue.
Oh, yes.
And then I'm bleeding too. Oh, honey.
They be trying to put the stuff on there and fix it up, but
They
that
think
don't
you
take the pain away.
They think you don't
No, it
notice
does not.
Some of them do. Some of them don't acknowledge, and that's the whole
Until
situation.
you
If I have
say
to point
something,
it out, exactly. If I have
Oh,
to
you
point it
have
out,
soft skin. That's why you cut. You have soft skin. No, honey, you
Oh.
cut me. It don't have nothing to do with my skin. It burns.
Let me sit there. You put your foot up here. Tell me whose skin is soft. I'll cut you.
All right. So let's talk about price increases. We are post-COVID. We are in whatever part of the
whole new
economics
world.
you want to describe it, but everything has gone up. Everything. So there's price increases on everything. So when the price increases on the service you're getting, are we required to increase the amount that we're tipping? So if you were paying $30 for your nails and now you're paying $40, do you pay more on your tip?
I'm let Sister Brenda answer that
Why?
one. Before I go,
Why?
they have cut me off when I get done. They was like, "Oh, this happened. We're not treating her. She ain't getting no services out here in this world because."
Well, then I'll add everything's increased. So if it's now $40 and we were basing it off of 10% of your bill, then I guess in theory your tip, what'd you say?
15% of.
Okay, 15%. Clearly, I have been shortchanging the service industry.
Yeah,
I
her
apologize.
table. That's what you need to serve her. That's what it is.
So naturally, yes, the tip will increase if you're basing it off of your total. So if you were doing it 15% off 30 and now it's 15% off of 40, so you are leaving more of a tip. Oh, that's a good one. Come on.
It's up to you. It's up, it's up to you. Now, like I say, I'm not leaving more of a tip, but I'm giving bonuses. I don't think the average person does that,
No,
at Christmas time. They're not going to give them extra, but I'm giving them extra because that's my regular person. They have serviced me and serviced me well, and we have developed a relationship.
Were you giving them extra before COVID or you just started?
No, all the time.
Okay, the whole time.
Before,
okay.
the whole time. We talk about each other's families. She shares a lot of personal stuff with me and pictures. So we really have a nice relationship. So I make sure I give them a bonus.
Well, that's amazing. I don't have any regular services that I receive in order to give a bonus.
That's a good thing to find.
I go maybe once a year, to the hair salon. And so I don't have anybody on a regular basis that I'm paying a bonus to. What were you going to add, Leah?
Well, that's okay. So, family, that's because Yolanda can throw down with her own hair. We
Yes.
applaud that 100%. She can totally throw down with it, so we're not mad at it. And I will caveat this by saying Sister Brenda is very married, very retired, no kids. So the tipping
We
on
have
top of the
kids.
tipping on top of the grown kids.
But
on
we
top
got
of the tipping.
grandkids. It's worse.
That I get it from time to time, but not all the time. Okay, since Yolanda and I, however, have the young babies that are constantly taken from your pockets. Okay, family. So let me just talk to all those of you who have the young babies coming for your pockets first. If you get an opportunity to tip, you can. It's post-COVID world, baby, where you can't get a pedicure hardly for $60 or less. Let me just say that God bless. That's all I can give you right about now. Okay.
And
That's I mean,
and
like
I have a counter to that. I have a counter to that. My counter to that is these people are servicing you, and especially if they're servicing you well, they also are trying to live and have families too. Now I'm just saying.
They are.
So if you can't afford to even give the 15% of it, $5, $3, they will accept it and be thankful for it, because I feel I have to give something, especially if you're satisfied with the job that they have done, because just like you are struggling to pay for this service, they're struggling to live.
But
So it works both ways, and we have to remember the good book says treat others as you would want to be treated, and
That's
you
very
would
true.
want to be tipped.
absolutely,
for
but
service
$20
that is good.
for a pedicure before COVID to almost $50-$60 now post COVID. It ain't that much. I ain't getting that much in the check.
A pedicure,
$40
what
in
you getting?
Oh yes, for a
So for
Oh.
me, if I
pedicure.
feel like it's gonna cost too much, I'm not going.
I'm not
If
doing
it's,
it.
now,
I'm not
Yeah.
going. But when we go out to dinner, if we're going with the kids, we will try to tidy up the table a bit, because we have 3 in a partial kid right now. He's eating at the table, so they can make a huge mess. So we try to pick up the big pieces off the floor, what's dropped. There's always something dropped, and we try to stack up the dishes as we can on the table to make it a little bit easier. Even we will still leave a tip based on the service. We're not just tipping just because we're there. We're tipping if the service is good. If you come to me with a raggedy attitude, you expect a raggedy tip.
Agreed. All right.
I agree.
So-
I agree.
Okay.
Okay.
There you
Well,
go.
sounds good, family. I love it. This is such a lively discussion. It was so good. Family, please keep the conversation going in the chat. Let us know how you feel when you tip, when you don't tip, what helps you to tip more, good service, all that kind of things like that. And different people that you might tip, people that come in your home and service your home, all those kind of people. And even if you don't tip them, maybe water, snacks, different things like that you give them, because at the end of the day, we want to remember the golden rule, which is to treat people the way that we want to be treated regardless.
Amen
family.
to
Okay.
that.
So we love you guys, and we cannot wait to see you guys next week. Bye.
Mom's Pearl.